It's about respect, I think. For me, at the core, that's what it is.
Right.
Because if you hear all this and you're still like, they're crazy, then I would say you don't really respect your partner if you're fighting so hard to keep your guys' night out or your whatever,
And just about every, to add one more thing is 90% of people, like just about every person that said, dang, I made a mistake, right? Were the exact same people that said, I would never do this. So you might think you know yourself, right? But do you need to put yourself into temptation's way? You know what I mean? Like, again, yeah, you should be resistant to it. I agree. I think if you're in the relationship where all your needs are being met, then you have extra armor. However, majority of people that thought that they were untouchable find their faults when they put themselves into temptation's way.
I mean,
so do you want to be that person?
Like, they weren't fully anyway.
Yeah, but
maybe it's more of a guy thing because I see it more as a guy thing. You'd probably see it more as a girl thing because that's your perspective. But I see it more as like guys have a harder time because guys typically are the ones that are giving in physically and doing that kind of stuff. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about a nightclub is giving in physically. And I'm not saying women don't do it, but I'm saying that a woman is not going to throw away her relationship as often as a man.
I agree.
For a one night stand.
But she's getting more opportunities to do so.
I understand that, but that
so
doesn't
it balances out.
She also, it's like Russian roulette though. Guys are not very good at sex.
Agree. Yeah.
So if you're going home with this guy, like you are risking that. Whereas a guy can just get whatever he wants. It's not the same skill.
But if she's only had bad sex, she's not going to know the difference. So that argument's going to be taken off the table.
She still doesn't want to add to that tally of like
she thinks
another bad sex
She
tally
thinks it's
mark.
good. She thinks it's good.
That's even more
besides,
sad.
Women aren't having sex with guys in order to enjoy themselves. They're having sex with guys in order to prove themselves.
Because they're not being fulfilled in their relationship, which again, that doesn't excuse cheating.
I'm just saying, like, if you look at every person who's cheated and you say, did you intend to cheat? 99% of them are going to say no. It just happened, right? Like I was there.
But 99% of them are going to have an underlying reason that drove them to even being pushed to that.
But don't put yourself in this situation. Work on your relationship instead. That's all I'm saying.
Or
because you're going to become a percentage. Just like everyone thinks they're the best driver, right? But people get in accidents. It happens. So the same thing. Like you might think that you're untouchable.
I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. Sexual acts are not an accident, like a car accident. Like, oops, I accidentally just,
no, but
fell on this.
But one thing leads to another. So it's not an accident, but it's like,
called self-control,
look,
though.
You're still guilty as charged. I'm not trying to say anyone escapes responsibility for it. I'm just saying that it's like you put yourself in a situation where you make a bad judgment call. That's not
but I'm just saying in a car accident, someone can hit you and it not be your fault. That's not the case. It takes two to tango. It takes two to horizontal mambo. Okay? So,
if I'm on a diet, I'm not going in Krispy Kremes, okay?
I understand.
I can swear to you up and down, I will not eat a donut today, but if I stand there and they're like fresh made donuts, the hot sign flashes on, and they're like, would you like a free sample? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so
I understand what you're saying about not even go there, but also self-control.
Okay.
Self-control is key.
Well, yeah, but don't test your self-control. That's what I'm saying. Is don't test it.
I agree.
There's no need to test it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you think you're stronger than you are, but everyone thinks they're stronger than they are, but they're not. That's what I'm saying. Is like,
But some people are. So
some people are, but you don't need to find out, do you?
I agree. I agree with that. I agree.
That's right. And someone else that's married to you or is dating you doesn't need to find out either. So that's like, think about it. Or your children too, So yeah. Like
where have we gone?
Okay. So yeah, so we'll end that. We'll talk about the our relationship thing so that it falls on me. So it was kind of what we were talking about a little bit because we talked, we got into some discussions about like falling into the rut of like showing sexual desire and the importance of it to a man, like because again, I think this is just useful that for women to know because I didn't realize that women didn't know this. Two things. Is one is that a woman's sexual desire, like I was talking about before, is the most important thing to a man. Period. Right? It's not. Women think maybe it's frequency of sex. It's not. It's the actual enthusiasm. It's the actual desire shown, right? And then also in the way that which men want that to be shown.
That's what you need to tell, because that's what women don't know.
Right. So women, I guess, let's say, men want you to show your depraved self, your sluttiest self to them, right? As like selfishly, right? It's like, I want you to do things to me. I want you to, make me whatever, like we'll try to keep it not too,
You've
but
already kind of made
you can, in your head, like whatever your depraved, like selfish, sexual desires are in your head. That's what the man wants to hear. Cause he doesn't, it's not that you want to necessarily, do things to him. That's great. Or that you have sex with him, but it's that. So, and then on the flip side for the man, obviously it's the romance, right? It's like, cause that's what women value the most, is that's what shows. Like, I guess I would say like a man, feels loved by a woman if she shows sexual desire. Like that's the primary way. Whereas a woman feels, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you don't agree with this, but a woman feels the most loved by a man by the romance that he shows her.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So that's what we talked about. So it was good. But it was interesting.
But it's good to check in, and that's what we were talking about, is that like, because I felt like I was doing the things to make him feel desired, but I wasn't like doing it in this selfish way. Like he just...
Right. Which she was trying to be so
because
good.
I'm like,
she's so
I don't want to be selfish.
Right.
Like I don't want it to be all about me.
Right.
Like it's supposed to be about you. So I was trying to like make it about you, but you're like, no, that's wrong. Be selfish. And I'm like, what? Like this makes no sense.
But if you watch any porno, then you will understand it, because...
Okay, well, I don't. We already had that conversation.
But any porno is going to be about the woman making the noises and how much she's enjoying it. And right, it's like, that's what the focus is whether it's female porn or male porn, it's always still the focus on the woman's enjoyment. So that's why I think that's the thing. Obviously.
Yeah, but I think it's hard as a woman to like, because I think women understand that.
Yeah.
But I think they don't understand like telling a man what they want, because that seems selfish.
Right.
And also if you look at some of the comments on our videos, guys are so butthurt these days of like, why can't you just take care of yourself? Why can't you do this? So like it really has conditioned women.
It's true.
And so they feel like they have to do everything on their own, or not be too selfish, or not ask for too much, because it's so heavily pushed in all aspects.
Right.
So that's why when we were talking about this and you were like, oh, you really didn't know? I'm like, no. And I don't know no woman has ever told me what you told me. Yeah. So I don't know if some women know and I'm just late to the game,
I don't know.
Or what, but like, it's just not normal, especially like today with how men act today.
Right. Yeah.
Like they make women feel so bad for wanting things. And so we have been conditioned.
Right.
Like a majority of men act that way. So that's like, it's ingrained in us.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And it's, I mean, I guess it's kind of the bomb. I mean, I don't know for sure. That's why I was like surprised that most women don't know that. But I think it's the same way that women don't realize that a man doesn't know, like, again, like the secret for men, okay, if you want to make a woman fall madly in love with you and just be obsessed with you, is to validate her emotions. It's such a simple, is for her to be like, I'm really upset. And then, even if she's upset at you, instead of you saying, I didn't do it, or like whatever.
You're like, don't be upset.
Yeah. To just be like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Tell me more. Like, like that's it. Then she's like, now she's just gonna melt. Right. So, but it's the secret, right? So, but if we were to flip it and say, women, what's the secret to a guy? Be a depraved, slutty, show him your depraved, your selfish, slutty desires. Like, bam, you got the guy. He'll do whatever.
Better than perfect, we stand.